Hello everyone, welcome to my channel AWS Solutions Hub. Today's video is on FinOps topic. Imagine you come to office one fine day and as a part of your daily operations work, you realize huge spike in cloud cost. You're surprised to see sudden spike when it was normal just one day before. Not a very good start to your day, but if you have worked in FinOps or in cost management team, then this scenario is no wonder to you. But the question is, how do you start investigating this issue and what all steps you take, what all services you can use to identify root cause for cost increase. In this video, I will talk about 5 different methods which can be helpful in identifying root cause. Okay, so let's start our video. First step you should take is to understand cost pattern for past history. Try to understand some cost pattern over the last few days, weeks or months. This gives you confidence that you have seen similar cost pattern in past history. If you see similar cost pattern for in any of the days, weeks or months, there could be a valid reason you see this spike, but you never noticed it. You have to analyze this cost pattern to understand this valid reason. One of the valid reasons can be for that one particular day you have a scheduled workload to run that takes up your all cloud resources and you see a cost increase. Using the pattern, you realize this is not a regular spike, then you need to go one level deep and understand this spike. This time you can use AWS Cost Explorer service to analyze that cost spike. How we can use this? So let's go to, maybe I'll start from the home page. So here you can see I am on the AWS console home page. So go to your right topmost corner, select billing and cost management. Here you see Cost Explorer, select that. Cost Explorer gives you cost and usage report for your AWS account. So how we can use this? On the right side you see all the filters AWS Cost Explorer service provides. We should use these filters and try to search the reason for the cost spike. For example, okay, this is my personal account which doesn't have any running workload. This is just for the testing purpose with free tier. So you will not see much graph changes or any cost and usage data. But even if you are going for your production accounts, the method remains same. So what you have to do is on the right side, if you see I have some cost showing in the October month and the December month. Let me analyze the cost for October month. So I have selected date range. I will go to October. That's my first filter. Now I am on first filter. Let me change it to daily. So you have three options: hourly, daily and monthly. Based upon your analysis, you can go for, I mean, if you are selecting one particular day, then you can go for daily granularity. But since I've selected month, I'll go day wise. So I'm selecting daily. Now I see there is some change on October 3, October 6, October 12. But you if you really look at October 6, I see some EC2 instances cost. Okay, but right now if you really see, I'm seeing all the services. Okay, but after analysis you realize no, EC2 instance is the one who is the culprit for the cost increase, and I want to just see the EC2 instance. So how you can do that? you have to come to service filter. Okay, before that select the dimension as service, then come to filter service. Here you can select EC2, and apply. And as you can see, I'm just got this graph for EC2 instance, and only October 6 I have some cost in EC2 instances. And but again, if you have AWS organization setup and you have member accounts and you want to see the cost as per the member account, then you can select the linked account option. But since I don't have that setup, I have just one account, it is showing for that account. But if you have multiple accounts and you want to see the cost as per accounts, then you can select the linked accounts. Similarly, you can do region wise, instance type, cost category. There are multiple options available. You can select those filters and you can draw a graph to understand more on the cost spike. Next service you can use is cost anomaly detection. Use this service to create alerts, and it will trigger an alert when sudden cost increase is seen. Okay, so how do we configure the cost anomaly detection? Go to billing and cost management. On the landing page of billing and cost management home, you see cost anomaly status as not detected. Either you can go from here, or you have another option on left side which says cost anomaly detection. Okay, let's click on that. Okay, on the first screen or the first tab, you will see if there are any anomalies detected. Okay, this is where you have all the monitors for cost. I see one default service monitor is being created. But if you have to create a new monitor, then you have to click on create monitor, and you have 4 options to create the monitors. For me, this AWS service is disabled because maybe I'm using a free tier account, so it is asking me to delete the default monitor first and then create the new one. The other option is about linked account. When I select that, again, if you have AWS organization setup, then you will see list of accounts. You select that account and you want to monitor the cost for that account. Okay, so for example, if I selected this, okay, the current account, I'll give a name as test. Go next. Okay, here you will be creating a subscription. So if for that account, if you see a sudden cost increase, then who should be notified? So let's say finance team. Okay, then how do you want to trigger or alert? What is the alerting frequency, individual, daily, or weekly? You can select that. You mention all the emails who you want to notify. Then what is your threshold? Let's say, okay, let me just give you examples at the rate gmail.com. Okay, and what is your threshold? Let's say 100. So if spend goes above 100, then these email recipients will receive an email saying there is cost threshold has been crossed. Or you can also mention it in percentage. For example, if the cost is increased above 40%, then you will be notified. If I go back, there are other options saying cost category. So if you have any if you have defined any cost categories values, that you can basically use here. Okay, and there is something called the cost allocation tag also. How do we get the cost allocation tag? If you come to again billing and cost management homepage, Here you have cost allocation tags. Okay, right now I just one enabled, but based upon your use case scenario, you can enable multiple cost allocation tags and use those to create the monitors. Similarly, as I said, like for the cost categories, you can also create the cost categories, maybe department wise, project wise, and use those cost categories in creating the monitors for cost anomaly. Okay, so this if you have monitors in place, then you really don't need to um, manually go and monitor the cost explorer. If you have any alert triggered, then only you really need to dig into and see why there is a sudden cost increase. The next service you should take help from is AWS CloudWatch. AWS CloudWatch gives you insight from logs and metrics perspective to that particular service. This may not be helpful with every service when it comes to analyzing the spike cost, but this can also come handy in case of Lambda, config, EC2, and related services. Monitor usage trends and logs to understand why particular service is creating spike. As you see on the CloudWatch screen, if you have CloudWatch log groups configured for that service, you will see all the logs here, and you should analyze those logs to understand the spike cost. Also, take help of matrix, and with the help of the different parameters and namespace, you can plot a graph and understand what happened on that particular day. This should give you good insight from the service perspective. Next service we can use for analyzing the cost spike is AWS Cloud Trail. When you want to see what changes made recently and who made those changes, we can take help of AWS Cloud Trail service. This gives you insight on what are the recent changes happened in this account for that particular region. Check events logged and see unusual event that has been logged. It can be EC2 type changed or AWS config made more rule evaluations or Lambda execution increased. Because of it, it has been seen a cost increase in Cost Explorer. Or maybe Lambda retries after it's failed. So using CloudTrail, you can find these scenarios and come to a conclusion. With the help of these basic service checks, you will definitely find the root cause for spike cost and take necessary actions on it. I hope this video is helpful to all who work in FinOps team or responsible for cost management to find out the root cause for this spike cost. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. I will see you in the next